Right guys, I'm going to be doing a bit of building on this Mastiff today. The skull is this one. I've already done quite a bit of prep work on it. I've done the spines, already done, the ribs are on, the sternum's on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little video today showing how I do the legs. I'm going to do a Instagram live as well, so I'm just going to flick my phone on and put Instagram on as well, and just switch accounts, and then go live, and then I better turn my music down, otherwise I'll not. About knee, can't rotate, they're both healed. So this is how I do that. I've already prepped the other leg before I decided I was going to do this video, otherwise I would have prepped this on camera. But basically, I put a pencil dot on this bone, put it into the position that I want, transfer the pencil dot onto here, drill a hole in each, and then I can put the first in. So first pin goes in there, and then I can set the angle. Because I've pre-done that, I think it's probably about right, but I'm just going to check it now. Because I've already got a pin in the bottom as well, it needs to go into a hole in the base, so you can either use a piece of scrap MDF with a hole in it, or if you've got a bench like mine with gaps in like this, I'm just going to sit this in the gap on the bench, and then I can compare the angle with the other leg. So that's what I was planning on doing on this one. Hi Instagram people, I'm doing a YouTube live as well, so I'll be answering questions on both, although they'll only show up on the one or the other. But if I'm answering questions that no one's asked on here, that's the reason why. I'm not going mad just yet. Oh, well, I am a bit mad already. So that's what I'm saying about doing the comparison. So I'm offering both the legs up. It's a sitting pose, so the femur's quite level, so I know on this one I can set that at that position. So I'm going to pour some super glue down this pinhole, and then pop that back in. Now, as well as setting the height, I'm also setting the angle so that when the feet are together, the legs are coming back to about the same angle. So I'm now happy with that. So what I need to do is give that a little spray. This is just to get the just to get it tacked, really. Once it's tacked, I can lift it, make a stronger glue joint, and then I'll do the second bit, which is the tricky bit. I'm sure other people have come up with the same idea. Maybe not. I don't think I've seen it on other ones, but it's something that you can't see. So maybe some other people do this. But I just think it's a very neat way of doing the double pinned joint. I think the Lee Post books, which are great, they explain putting 2 pins into this bone, 2 drill holes, and then offering it downwards. but because this, where this bone it dishes in, so it's very tricky to get a straight one down that actual bone. It needs to go in on an angle, so that I don't do. I've just done the straight down one first, and then this one I'll pin, but I'll pin it when I put the other bone on. So when this bone goes on, you can see on dogs and cats, this bone sits like that. So it's sitting against a flat face here. So what I'm going to do is drill through there and into this bone. So when it goes through that flat face, that's where the other bone is going to sit. So you can do it by just marking. I'm going to mark quite low down on the flat face. So I've just put a little pencil dot, I don't know if you can see that. So that's on the flat face. I'll offer this bone up now to transfer my pencil dot. If you can't see the pencil dot when you transfer it, you can't see it on camera, but I can just see it by my eye here. So I'll just darken that up so I can see where I'm going. Here I say. So not a thicker drill bit, this one. I've got 3mm on the knee joint at one side, so the other side I'm just putting a 1.5mm. I'll just get my battery for my cordless Dremel. That's better. So now here you can see I'm going to drill through that flat face and at an angle up into that bone. So with that drilled, I'll just push the piece of wire in. So it kind of gives you an idea of the angle that it's going in at. So you can see it's going up through this bone into this one. So hopefully that is understandable. Now what I'll do is pull that out and put some glue on it. You don't have to trim this to length at this point because the other bone is going on there as well. So I will pop that in there with the glue onto it, and then I can cut that back. I'll give that a few seconds to dry while I drill the other bone. Now this is quite a thin bone, so it's a little bit more awkward to drill, especially if you've went up to a 2mm drill bit for this, but I'm only just tacking into this one. So when you're doing this, just be careful not to go right through the other side, otherwise you might as well have just glued this on and then drilled right through and pinned it. This way of doing it, it's a concealed pin. I know how deep I've gone into that bone now, so I can now trim this accordingly. So that bone now has got a pin going into it. So as you can see, that now sits quite flush. The wire will need bending back to make this bone seat on that part. and because of the nature of this bone, it does actually sit against. I'm going to do pinning at the top, and then I've got a massive area there, flat face. That's how I'm going to glue that one. Not all dogs are like this, but so that's onto the part that's got the pin in. That's where it sits flat, and then the bottom joint. So with that all held in place now, I'll use my activator. And then you can just reinforce your joints where you've got little spaces. If it's not going to be seen, you can always add a little bit more glue. It gives a bit more surface area to stick and a bit more secure. So that's the knee joint done. So it's 2 pins and it's both concealed, so concealed pin joints. There's wire coming out there that'll go into the base once the dog's sitting on the base, so it's visible about 2mm, maybe 3mm of that'll be visible, but it's not going to detract from the skeleton once it's mounted up. So the rear legs are done now. Yeah, it's a Mastiff SA. So I'll put those to one side. So YouTubers, I hope you found that interesting, or a different technique. It might come in useful at some point if you decide to articulate a knee joint and you don't want any pins showing. So I'm going to sign off on this one. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell button and keep an eye out for future builds. Alright, cheers guys.